Welcome to Mind Remapping Cognitive Positioning Systems and Atlas. The genesis of mind design are cognitions that always begin at the origins of the self. The origin is the understanding of the seventh scale that augment the many allegorical, mythological, and parabolic codes hidden in the mind. Language is the principle to all of human reality. Language, however, spoken or in thought, is fractional in relation to the immeasurable totality of awareness and consciousness to which no words could ever describe. All the same, language in its many forms is a deliberate vocalized point of communication. A transductive medium communicated through the macrocosmic mind down into sequences of single-channeled code. Single-channel transmissions are monologues of a gate and flow process in language where when one speaks, others can only listen. Awareness, consciousness, the brain, and mind, instead, are network systems of cross-communications that do not suffer these time lags. As part of human intellectual systems, awareness and consciousness efficiently share information with minimal loss in communications, using 7 properties of cognition. This is called the scale of the mind. The scale of the mind describes 7 properties of cognition that serve as reference points of collective understanding. Moreover, these scale properties, which are not sequential, are more related to brain frequency than their descriptive words, which is responsible for recognizing distinctive and shared human behaviors. But using frequencies, as well as language, comes with an added and beneficial twist. Unlike the fixed words used to identify these properties, with frequencies, there are endless combinations of cognition. These are combinations corresponding to brain frequencies, within ranges beginning at 0.5 Hz to 110 Hz, but divided within 7 thresholds, which coincidentally also corresponds to the 7 colors that make up visible rainbows. The reference to the words rainbow, as with the rainbows we observe in our world, are illusions, and as such as rainbows, are refractions of light that more accurately represent their waveforms and angles, just like the frequencies of the electromagnetic fields created by our brains. So, what we are looking at, either externally in the mind internally, or heard in our spoken words verbally, or in the mind, or as written as language on paper, or displayed as signs and illustrations, all culminate as illusions. Therefore, the basis of everything we perceive or conceive in awareness or as consciousness is a product of the electromagnetic frequency of the brain picking up the frequencies of visual spectrums of physical reality. The brain essentially is an electromagnetic bulb of the third dimension. A bulb not limited to only physics but correspondences that also pick up information, beginning and extending beyond the basis of our human synthesis. However, unfortunately, we do not have common conventions for these spaces yet, as worlds not controlled by dialects, but languages controlled by time. Visual light is the first scale of human cognition, as the means to discern shape, color, form, texture, tone, taste, balance, etc. in a physical world, so that we know where we are and that we don't walk into or miss each other, but which is also a brain and mind capable of accessing the infinite backdrops of otherworldly experiences. However, first we must get past the obvious divisions between all things, orchestrated as deliberate human contentions but of the same difference. The mind is a cognitive interface within positions of frequency. Positions of frequency that for us correspond to systems of time. Time is an atlas, not only for the illustrated reference in clock sequences, but a cognitive mapping system. A cognitive positioning system which through metaphoric illustration determines how perceptively wide or how narrow the scales of the spherical observatoire of the mind is. Mind remapping does not subscribe in the latent editions of belief systems, opinions, identity, trends, or status, it instead fragments their illusions. Our principles are disciplines grounded first within the empirical quadriviums of music, astrology, geometry, and arithmetic, the empirical trivium of frameworks, logic, and their rhetoric, and finally the empirical bivium of virtues versus their vices. These are the 9 layers of consciousness governed by a cosmos-centric principle of life. The 4-in-1, or Nuit, the mythological goddess of the skies. And this is where our journey beyond human synthesis begins.